quadrupling their market share, taking some serious shots on Apple and seeing a surge in popularity for their Pixel phones, Google totally nailed it last year. In this video we are diving deep into Google's strategy behind the Pixel lineup, check out what this means for the competition and take a look at the future of the Pixel series. Let's go. Just look at this ad from Apple. It shows how awesome the new iPhone is for your everyday life. Tech enthusiasts would say, oh boring, but the masses perceive Apple's new features as innovative. Now compare that to marketing campaigns from Android manufacturers like Xiaomi. Just look at this extra photography kit, but normal people don't care. That's exactly one of the reasons why Apple's market share keeps growing, and this is where Google comes in. They are the ones who develop Android, the platform that other companies just slap their own launchers on top of, but when those other manufacturers, with the exception of Samsung, can't keep up with Apple's market share, Google has to step in and make Android more attractive again. And that's exactly what they have been doing since the Pixel 6, and they are getting more aggressive year after year. Google is making the Pixel brand more and more popular with marketing campaigns everywhere, like the NBA or with regular videos where Pixel talks to an iPhone, which I totally recommend by the way, and just look at the marketing of the Pixel 9 series. Not a word about 200 megapixel cameras or the most powerful processor on the market, just a few features designed to make people's everyday lives easier. And that brings us to the next point, which is of course AI. Google has been going all in on AI for the past 2 years, and they are the company that releases features that actually can make a real difference in everyday life. Not fake summaries of already short notifications. AI is everywhere on the Pixel devices, from the now playing feature on the lock screen, the magic editor, to an AI assistant that can do anything for you. And these are the basics. I don't even started with insane tools like NotebookLM, Deep Research or Veo that even destroyed OpenAI. And I mean, it worked. Just look at the comments under the reviews of the Pixel 9 lineup. Tons of Apple users are bored of the same little updates every year and want something new. Apple totally bet on the wrong horse with VR and is about 2 years behind when it comes to AI. You can really see that they are struggling with catching up, and so far it hasn't worked. And that brings us to Google's main goal: get iPhone users to switch to Pixel smartphones. It starts with the new shape of the phones, but it goes way deeper with the software. A Pixel is the perfect device for Apple users to make the switch because the software is even simpler and more minimalistic than iOS. It's a pretty similar experience, especially when you compare One UI and iOS. Then there's the fact that Pixel phones always feel like a new piece of hardware. It's not just about the features at the launch. Google rolls out monthly updates with the Pixel drops and of course the 7 years of Android updates. Meanwhile, Apple users are annoyed that while everyone else is showing off their awesome AI features, things are changing so slow on iOS. Even beyond AI, it took Apple years to let you basic things like move app icons on your home screen, and when they finally did it, it looked like this. Having the coolest animations doesn't mean much if the features behind them don't actually work right. And Apple has been missing that wow factor for years now, and Google is taking full advantage. All of this is of course a direct attack on Apple, and as you can see, it works. A lot of people have already made the switch from iPhone to Pixel, and the number is growing. Sure, most of them are tech enthusiasts right now, maybe not the casual consumer, but it's a sign of where things are headed for normal buyers in the next few years. Google also boosts all of this with the price. Pixel phones have always killer deals, and sure, they have gotten more and more expensive in the last years, but there are always attractive offers for pre-orders, Black Friday or the Christmas season. Apple on the other hand has never been too budget friendly. And speaking of price, that brings us to Google's final goal. They want to move Android into the premium segment. I will explain why in a second. Imagine this: most parents buy their kid a cheaper phone as the first device just to teach them how to use it. Since Apple doesn't really do cheap, those parents probably go for a budget $100 Android phone. But after 2 or 3 years, the kid gets older and probably wants to buy a more expensive phone. If they are not really into tech, they might associate Android with something bad because they only had that $100 phone, which probably isn't running so smoothly after a few years, and end up buying, let's say, a $1,000 iPhone. The jump in quality is huge, of course, and just like that, Apple has built a good image for itself, while the old Android phone is remembered as being terrible and buggy. If that person never really gets into tech, they will always think of Android as cheap and compare that $100 experience to the $1,000 experience, even though they have never really actually experienced what a high-end Android phone can do. Google has recognized this, and that's why, just like Apple, they don't sell super cheap phones like Samsung or Xiaomi. Instead, Google offers more affordable A-series phones, but unlike those typical $100 phones, these have similar hardware to the main Pixel line and all of the same features. Plus, the premium segment is super attractive these days because people are increasingly willing to spend more money on smartphones. So we can see that Google's strategies are paying off and the Pixel brand has become increasingly successful, especially last year. But what about the future? While Google was battling it out with OpenAI in December, they also unveiled a new operating system, Android XR. This is designed to further expand their ecosystem, which will also have an impact on the Pixel brand. Maybe we will even see some Pixel glasses. And of course, at the heart of the operating system is Gemini. As for the Pixel lineup, it continues with the Pixel 9a, which apparently won't even have a camera bar anymore, but even more exciting is the 10th generation of Pixel smartphones, which is expected to launch in August. The chip in the Pixel 10 lineup will be finally manufactured by TSMC, which should improve both efficiency and performance. But let's recap. Pixel phones outperform other smartphones in a lot of areas, especially in things that actually matter to the average user, who of course isn't trying to shoot a movie in progress. The one area where Google still needs to catch up is the processor, especially when it comes to efficiency and performance, but let's see what the Tensor G5 will deliver. And when it comes to the ecosystem, Google continues to expand it with things like the Pixel Watch 3, which finally has a larger display and offers a similar product lineup to other tech companies. The Pixel is no longer just a phone for tech enthusiasts. I expect them to become one of the top 3 selling smartphones in the future. What do you think about Google's strategy? Let me know in the comments below. I am and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.